Kanpai!
This is
that
where
one's easier.
Oh, there it is. I got it. It came back.
You gonna drink it?
You're not.
You didn't bring it up to your lips at all. It just disappeared.
Oh, everything.
I will
wrong.
drink this drink. I will suck it in through. I don't know. Absorption? How did you do that? Was it your hand drank it?
It's yeah. Well, I am the scarf. Remember, I am the scarf. So the scarf drank it through the glass. Yeah, that's my deep lore.
Loz, I really want to rig it so that at one point in time, one of us is drinking, and we actually have like a high-pressured tube on the other side of the bottle, so it's off-screen, and then we just open our mouth and just get sprayed in the face.
I just had a can and shake it up if you want me to do that.
I wasn't going to go that far, but yeah, pretty much.
Welcome memes to episode 56. I gave it a terrible name. Let's not say that name. It is Hidden Gems / Guilty Pleasures, and as part of the housekeeping, this is where we were supposed to have a guest, but unfortunately they had to call out, so it's just us three. You just get us three again.
Yeah. We are going to have the guest on. It's Viper Menace. They were but they're having internet issues, and they're not getting. They complained to their internet service provider, but the new router isn't arriving until Tuesday. Unfortunately, they were hoping that. Yeah, they were hoping to receive it yesterday of the recording, but unfortunately, it's been delayed to like 3 days after the recording. Yeah. So we're going to rearrange with them later.
Yeah, it'll be a blast. I'm sure they'll have fun. I'm sure we'll have fun with them, but unfortunately, just not today. But just to remind everyone, we do have timestamps and chapters allowing people to right down there, allowing people to navigate to the sections of the show they're really interested in watching. Like when we talk about Made in Abyss again, because we can't go a week without talking about Made in Abyss. That's just how it goes. And
again this week?
I did. It's one of my guilty pleasures.
We've almost gone a week without watching it.
Yeah, we did actually. Yeah, yeah. What? Oh, you mean that one? That one.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's all your fault. We didn't watch it. It's totally your fault.
Why is it my fault?
Because you had to go on a trip, silly.
Yeah.
I was around. I could have turned around and said, "I'm sorry, I can't come to your wedding. I've got Made in Abyss to watch and feel sad afterwards."
Priorities. Sorry, I can't come to the one-off wedding of you with your sweetheart who you'll love forever and evermore. I am afraid I have to watch a weeb show with some friends.
Yeah, I've got to do weeb things. You know how it is. Yeah.
Oh no! I just realized I've been muted again somehow. Thank goodness for Craig.
Have you been muted during the whole of the the news recording?
Yep.
This is why we have backups.
It's even on the checklist to check, and I just didn't do it. I've gotten complacent. Right. So for the next part of housekeeping, because we're not even out of that section yet, for every like this video receives, Nasuth will do will do one push-up. Nasuth's very fat, so help him lose weight by liking the video and sharing it with your friends.
What, you'll do one push-up for
I'm going to point out, I did not write this. Like, this is not me. I didn't do this.
Yeah. No, I definitely didn't write it for myself. No, I no. I wouldn't do that.
Wow.
What, are we doing one push-up for every like or something? Sorry, what?
Well, I am.
Yeah, apparently.
I'll do it. I'll join that. I'll help Nasuth.
Okay. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah. What, is it what, by the time we record the next episode?
Yes. Yeah, so for every like this episode gets, I will do one push-up.
Are we going to do it on recording? Because, like, how... They're just going to have to take our face...
They're just going to take my word for it, yeah. I mean, I guess Loz could do it on camera, but I won't.
Oh, we can't... No, that's not equality. We need to equalitize.
No, no. It's a trust thing. I will do it.
Trust.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Right, and I think that does it. Well, because the news is now... And if you haven't watched the news yet, make sure you go watch episode 2 of Kanpai News, where we discuss Katakawa's getting into some hot water, among other things. Yeah. Right, shall we get into the topic then?
Yeah, so this week, we proposed it to the guest, and the guest said, like, they wanted... Why is that on?
Every time.
Okay, I know why that is. It's because of the stupid groups. We found that out. So just clear the assets.
Right.
Clear the assets.
Why
just
is
clear
that
the
head there?
Yes, because
it's so basically OBS
Why
is a pile of shit.
crotch?
Well, he deserves to be. So
true.
Anyway. Right. So with this week, we were planning on having Viper Menace on the show, and they asked to do the topic of guilty pleasures and stop it and hidden gems. Can't be serious on this show at all. And so we decided to stick with the topic, but instead we're just gonna talk about our own stuff. And I kind of want to just jump in and ask Loz, like, are they controlling a mech using a guitar?
Oh my, right, so I'm going first on this, yeah? I mean, I've only got two,
I feel...
because I couldn't think of, I last minute thought two's just my guilty pleasures. And one of them, absolutely, which I'm surprised we have gone over a year, and I have not explained to you two.
I think you have a little bit, like you touched on it.
Of utterness that is Macross 7.
Okay.
Macross 7 is just like, I don't even know. It's just so ridiculous. So, when I first started getting back into anime again, my friend started me on Gundam. Because I'd watched some bits and pieces, obviously I watched Robotech when I was a kid, that was got me into giant robots, but then, had the Dragon Balls, and we had the Gundam Wing, and the Pokemon, that kind of stuff. But then I went to university, I was away from cable television, and he starts introducing me to it. And he starts giving me mech shows. Because he also loved mechs, and I was like, yeah, I love mechs. And he starts giving me Gundam stuff, and he gives me some other weird stuff like Ra Zephon and other stuff like that. And he didn't give me Eva, which is good, very good thing. But then he gives me Macross 7, because he was explaining to me that Robotech is actually Macross, is what the original thing was. At some point, maybe we should do a whole episode of me explaining stuff on Robotech, because it is ridiculous stuff. I mean, the best thing, if you want to understand it, I would say there's a lovely YouTube channel called Toy Galaxy. Go watch their stuff on it, because they explain it in depth. It's really good. But anyway, so Macross is a big thing. You had Gundam, and then you have Macross in Japan. They were big. One thing that Macross does that Gundam doesn't is it does involve music. I'm not gonna. I'm sure somebody can prove me wrong on this, but my understanding is that the first Macross series there was basically a character, a singer called Minmay, who is, as a heroine in a main heroine, is the most indecisive and ridiculous character ever. Minmay is just so she's so stupid. But her choices and decisions. But anyway, so Macross set itself apart from Gundam. It's still real robots. We've still got aliens, which is another thing, but we've got this musical element. Macross 7 comes along, and a couple of the continuing characters from the original Macross carry into the series. But I don't even know how to explain this. So,
and it's a big but.
Now. So we've left Earth, and we've now there was one alien race we've kind of brought in, which is called the Zentradi, which are really big people but can be miniaturized as well. We're working with us now, and we're still building these robots as always, and they're Veritech fighters, I think it's the term. That was Robotech. I'm not sure what they're called in Macross, but they're mechs and they can turn into planes. So that's kind of a little different thing. But we got this musical element. Okay, and I'm going to go for the lore reason for it now. So obviously, the reason in the Macross, the way they beat the enemy is made of clones. And they culture shock them by singing at them, because they don't understand music. They're like, what is this, right? And then they broadcast to the enemy fleet a man and a woman kissing. It's
say that again.
Right. So in the pivotal battle in the original Macross, right? They realize the enemy are. Right, okay, who cares about time? I'm going to scroll talents, right? So, okay. In the original Macross series, there is Earth, and then there is, out in the future, out in space, there is a race of aliens. This is where my brain, someone might correct me because I'm going to go slightly Robotech, but it's almost kind of the same, but the terms might not be the same. Anyway, they have, there was a race of aliens that made, lots of powerful stuff, including a slave race called the Zentradi, who worked under them. The original progenitor race disappears, but the Zentradi Empire takes over, the clones, right? But they're very militaristic. They don't have any culture. They don't have anything like that. They're the
Jem'Hadar. They're the Jem'Hadar.
They are the perfect example there for Star Trek people. Star Trek? Yeah, Star Trek people.
Yeah.
The Jem'Hadar, exactly. Imagine the Jem'Hadar as a giant alien space race of people which are about 20 foot tall. Yeah, that's what the Zentradi are, right? And they're going to crush Earth, because Earth, basically the last spaceship with, of the original race, the progenitor race, with, a good, not nuclear reactor, but energy producing reactor fell to Earth, and we use that to advance our technology. They want it. That's why they come fight us. Anyway, so the massive enemy fleet comes to Earth, and we have to destroy them. And we've learned through a few interactions they have culture. So at the pivotal battle, the way we distract and confuse them is by culture shocking them as a weapon. So we broadcast this girl called Minmay singing to all of them, and they're like, "What is this music?" They've literally never heard of music before. They don't understand what is this rhythmic sound? What is it having effect on me? It doesn't affect them, but they're like, and then during the song as well, I think it's her brother comes on and gives her a kiss, just kisses her in the mouth, and it just oh my god, the alien's like, what is going on? Why are you doing this?
Why are they mashing their poodles together?
Exactly. It's that kind of thing. They're like, what is this? They just literally don't understand it. So it was part of how they defeated the aliens because of that. Anyway, so as into the next series, which is Macross 7, we've treated the Zentradi. We're friends now. We're friends. They now love culture as well. They now accept it, and they love kissing and music and everything else. Anyway, so then we got into the universe, and then secretly, the secret government that's like, well, this, because humanity was pushed to the brink, we were literally about to get wiped out. We're like, we must expand throughout the universe. We must never be wiped out again. We got to survive. So we sent out all these colony ships. Part of the colony ships, the government decides, right, music was a weapon before. Music might be a weapon again. Right? So
okay.
So a secret part of the government is this like very small thing to plan ahead for if we need to use culture as a weapon again. The main thing of the running of these space colonies is just normal robots with guns and things, and advisors and governments and things running it. But there's 4 people who are running a band as part of this government thing that they have mechs, which their weapons are music.
Okay.
Yeah, right. And then the main character is a pacifist, and he is inspired by the original person who saved the world by singing, and he wants to do the same. And he pilots his mech with his guitar.
So it's a Guitar Hero controller?
Yes.
Or yes. Rocksmith one if you want to get crazy.
Yep. He's really good at piloting his mech with his guitar. He can do it better than most people do it with normal controls. It is established.
I feel like that would just make, because wouldn't it just make, discordant nonsense? Because you're smashing random buttons to make your mech do things. You're not gonna play a chord to make it punch, right?
If he plays a certain chord, eventually the guy, just for safety, the guy who's operating or looking after the series of mechs that play music, he actually installs missiles in the legs where he has to do a certain chord and a certain thing, and it'll fire missiles at the legs. Right, okay. So it is amazing though. I started watching the show and I'm like, what the hell is the point of this show? This show is stupid. Because so anyway, they encounter some new aliens. And to start with, the normal troops are like, right, we'll go out and shoot them because they're shooting us. So they go out and shoot. And while they go out in their normal mechs to shoot with guns, all of a sudden, this trio of mechs turn up and start singing at the enemy in the middle of the fight.
My goodness.
And they have to deal with it. And they're like, what the fuck are you doing? Get out of our airspace. We're trying to shoot these people who are shooting us. And they're like, yeah, we're throwing on guitars.
I kind of feel I need to watch this now just to understand.
You don't. No one understands Macross 7. It's not about understanding Macross 7. It's about experience.
Okay, to experience then.
It's so ridiculous. Yeah.
The thing is, it is mental roller coaster, long, so it is kind of long. But yeah.
Okay.
And they do save the universe through singing by the end.
Okay, I gotta say I do enjoy the fact that it sounds like that Macross 7 is actually a direct.
Yep. Some of the characters carry over from the original Macross series because it's one of the fighter pilots, and the previous one is now the captain of the colony ship that the main focus of the show is on.
It sounds so ridiculous, it's amazing.
One of the big things with a lot of the Gundam stuff is the fact that you have alternate universe stuff, a lot of it, and none of it really ties back into the original stuff.
Yeah, unlike UC, which is a continuous timeline, there's very few series which follow on for each other. This is a follow-on. I think all the Macross series follow on. This is, because then obviously, as Xeno will know from Macross Frontier, that's how the music element is important for the space aids.
Oh my god. Which is actually
okay. So it's a little bit of a spoiler, but it's not really a spoiler. I'll explain how the premise of how this becomes important in the shows, right? So the aliens they encounter sort of feed off the life force of people. They're a race that existed in the past.
Sorry, can I interrupt? I just want to double check. So my understanding is that each one of these Macross series they have different enemies to fight. Like it's not the, what did you call them? The
Zentradi with the
yeah. So it's, okay, so I did actually
hear series that. Like even in Macross Plus, if you remember, no, Macross Frontier, there was a Zentradi who would fight as a thing, but her miniaturization didn't work, and she miniaturized into a small girl when she was actually an adult. If you remember,
right? I vaguely remember.
They keep that as well. They keep that consistency. The Zentradi are always, they now are allied with Earth, and we're one populace.
But yeah, so the idea is it's not just like, oh yeah, we're fighting. Unlike Gundam, where it's like, oh, we're fighting the colonies and Earth again and again and again.
Colonies, yeah. Which colonies? The different colonies, the ones that are rounded, the ones that are tubes, the ones that are squares.
Yeah, but with Macross, it's a case of no, it's different aliens.
As far as I know, it's normally like as we go out and expand the universe, explore the universe, we discover something new, or we go to a different universe, or different galaxy, and we discover what's in that galaxy. So it is always like, it's like Star Trek. It's just always expanding.
Yeah.
So the aliens in this, why is singing important in this one? So in this one, the alien race that was sleeping, it existed millennia ago, and it comes out and it feeds off the life force of other creatures, and it got to the point that it had fed on pretty much all the life force in the galaxy or whatever, so it went to sleep. And now that humanity is spreading out the stars and everything, it's waking up again to start feeding on people. But they realize that what if it doesn't feed on like your life force, like if it sucks out, you'll just run out of life. It feeds on like your soul, and they find that music actually can save people from the effects of the aliens' absorption, because it's like, inspiration is what they yeah, exactly. So, but it's really clever that at some point, like halfway through, the aliens realize that music does this, and they're amazed by it, because it's really interesting to see the aliens discover this. That the aliens come up with the concept of, aha, we'll capture a load of humans, and then we'll bring them into battle, absorb from them, wait till they sing at us, because the singing hurts the aliens, because and then they just keep sucking out. They make a farm of it out of the people, because they get reinvigorated by the music, and then the aliens suck it out again, and then they get reinvigorated by the music, and then the aliens suck it out again. It's like, aha, we never need to go sleep again. We can just absorb forever. This music is amazing. So yeah, it's
damn amazing.
It's in some ways, it is. I'm surprised there's just not memes about this thing. It is ridiculous in some ways. Macross 7 is just so stupid. It's so stupid, but it is a complete guilty pleasure. I remember watching it and thinking, I was like, I'm not going to finish this. I remember saying to the guy who says, like, he said, just keep watching, just keep watching. It gets better. And eventually you're just like, I don't care anymore. This is just fun.
Stockholm Syndrome sets in. And...
yeah, Stockholm Syndrome definitely sets in, and you're like, oh, yeah, guitars, yeah. Giant space cannons of music. Yeah, there's the colony. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So it opens it. Oh, and it looks just beautiful, as you can tell. It's like 90s.
Yeah, lots of detail. Yeah.
I mean, look at that with the moon and the reflection.
I assume that's a gate, or is that a mirror?
No, it's a mirror. So it closes for and then lifts to expose the colony to space, and that's it. Oh, it's fucking beautiful.
See.
Oh.
Yeah. I thought that was some kind of Stargate.
No. It closes to protect colonies, so it's like a shield.
Right. Because they've got all the glass domes and everything. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I cannot recommend it as a show to watch, but it is just a complete amazing trip. It is what Macross 7 is, and that's why it's a guilty pleasure. I was like,
you can recommend it as a show to go crazy about. Yeah.
You have to fight it, because at first you're like, why are we in a town on the colony, and the aliens are doing stuff, and it goes through so many steps. It's not just always about going out mechs. Like at times they're just like the aliens are trying to infiltrate the colony and find out about what's going on, and they're like, oh, this music thing, they're basically people they drain, and then they see them. Basically the guy sees these then happenstance on the drain people, and he starts singing to them, and they get reinvigorated, and he's like, whoa, how did that happen? So it's like you gotta you gotta watch these aliens discover stuff as we discover stuff. It's just so weird, man. It is proper weird 90s alien anime thing, but with it's just
it sounds very interesting.
I don't want to spoil some of the good moments, but there are some moments that you're just like, it's just, yeah, it's got some good moments as well. It's got some good bro moments as well, which I don't want to spoil. There's one moment in this which is a real bro moment, which I won't forget, but I don't want to ruin, but I can't really explain without ruining it, and you wouldn't even get it even if I explain it, because it's just like, so good.
Cool. I kind of want to talk about one of my guilty pleasures. I think I made you watch this some time ago, Loz.
What?
It's like when we watched it, it was called Macadamy wa Shoi. or Magician's Academy, which I've only just recently discovered is the English title for this. So the setting is there's a magic school, sort of like you know how Harry Potter has like hidden corridors and all sorts of stuff like this. Basically, in real life Japan, there is a way to get to the Magic Academy where all sorts of people from Earth practice magic, but it's hidden like in a pocket dimension kind of thing. And our main character, who is not on screen right now, he's set to summon his familiar, his servant, right? And in doing so, he ends up summoning this girl. Loz is remembering this now, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah, keep going.
He summons this girl, and she is a huge problem for the system of power that the magic school is involved with, because he creates her from nothing, as opposed to summoning a familiar from either heaven or hell, right? So she just didn't exist prior to this, and she has no alignment to either, and it really breaks the world setting. Like no one understands how this is even possible. So they are constantly like getting into weird antics where, you know, agents from heaven and hell are trying to investigate or capture the guy that caused this and capture the servant. It's really funny, but the main thing is the parody level of this, right? Everyone thought that Konosuba was just utterly hilarious. In this, there is an angel character who they treat as an angel from Evangelion. They actually have the whole control room set up. They have them. One of the head teachers is Gendo and carrying the whole scenario, while this angel who is wearing bondage gear is constantly going around kissing all the school attendees and everything to the theme of Flash Gordon.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no word of a lie. It's this, like it's an offshoot to it's a parody theme to Flash Gordon. It is hilarious, and I'm pretty sure Puri Angel from One Punch Man was actually inspired by the Angel character from this series. The series is honestly genuinely hilarious. The antics are abound. There is a character who, I think she was a magical item at one point, ends up becoming sentient along with all the other magical items that have been left in the storage closet for hundreds of thousands of years, and ends up thinking she is the dungeon master of her own personal dungeon and creates all these booby traps and things. And she does this entirely inspired by reading manga.
My goodness.
Right? Yeah, it's hilarious. One of the gatekeeper, this shows our age at least. The gatekeeper for the dungeon is a man whose body is that of a DS, a Nintendo DS, right? So just imagine a Nintendo DS with a man's face on it, with butch arms and legs coming out of it, right? That is the, I might as well draw this on a piece of paper. That's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Sounds like something you'd find in Homestar Runner.
Yes, very much so. Yeah. And it's so funny when basically they need to get past the guard to get into this dungeon, and they do so by tickling him with a stylus.
God,
it's honestly is fucking hilarious, right? Yep. This I can't remember of any show that does parody better than this. Like Konosuba, it really breaks the fourth wall and retreads, so it makes ground in its own world setting. this just takes the piss within everyone else's world settings. It is bloody hilarious.
But at the same time, doesn't it? Isn't this the show? I remember all that. Doesn't it get really serious all of a sudden towards the end?
I don't think so.
I remember it getting like pointlessly, weirdly serious, and then there's this group which turns up and they're trying to kill the main character and like do something with the weird girl. But then
Didn't be the first time silly anime turns serious.
Yeah.
So say again, Loz?
Then they forgive them for some reason. I remember it getting really serious. It was a woman who's leading some mercenary group or something turns up and starts attacking them, and they kind of run away from them or something.
I can't really remember that, but I do remember that the two sides, like heaven and hell, are constantly trying to get this guy. Like, I think it's the third episode. They end up, was it the second episode? They end up sending this samurai and like these two here. The animal ears were a distraction to get the teachers away from them, so that they put the animal ears and animal tails on all the school attendees and everything, and as a result the degenerate teachers ended up focusing on the demon and the angel and ended up focusing on all the students. And then when the teachers sort of like acclimatize to it and they start focusing on these two antagonists, they end up they end up casting a spell to give everyone glasses to make them all cuter. All the school attendees, and then this just pisses off the teachers to no end because all the glasses are fake. Yeah. And it's just like, you can't give people fake glasses and make it mean the same thing. And they just go absolutely, it's honestly, it's hilarious. Maybe you're right, Loz. Maybe it's been so many years since we watched this. You could be right, but I just love this one, and in all honesty, I might go away and acquire it and watch it later.
Yeah, I mean, I remember loving the randomness in the school, but I swear it just has this tonal shift towards the end.
Oh no, there was this tonal shift where basically he didn't exist. He was in a universe that didn't exist. And it caused...
there was stuff, and it was just weird, and it was just like this is how the show should be. This is the tonal there on screen now. And but it has this weird shift, and it's all deadly serious and whatever. And there's this mercenary group, and he doesn't exist, and he does exist or something. And just it was just
Still brilliant.
Yeah.
You should watch it. Totally 100% watch it. Yep. I'm gonna hand over to Nasuth now.
Right. So I feel like a lot of people haven't talked about this one, which is why it goes into my hidden gems. It is Japan Sinks 2020. It came out on Netflix, I think, in 2020. I could be wrong.
It did.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people don't talk about it, maybe because they don't like it, but I thought it was really good. I thought it was a nice little disaster series that gets a little weird, but I liked the weirdness. So at its core, essentially, it's there's a series of earthquakes that happen, and it sets off a volcano, and all of this destabilizes the area around Japan, so it starts sinking into the ocean. And we're following this family as they deal with, like, at first people are like, oh, nothing's really wrong, everything's fine, we just gotta wait for disaster relief to come in. But then they, you get aftershocks and more, like, they actually realize that things are starting to sink, and so they have a plan to get to like the highest area that they can and hope for the best. But along the way, they run into strange people, they pick up some people, they run into some, like this one right here. They find a cult, an actual, like, literal cult, and somehow the leader has, like, magic powers. I don't know how. They don't actually quite explain that, but they have to figure out how to, once they realize it's an actual cult and they need to get out of there, they've got to figure out how to escape without, the cult stopping them or anything. I think later on there's also a mysterious disease that shows up that comes out from underground. I could be wrong about that. It's been a little while since I've watched it. I probably should have gone and read a synopsis to refresh myself. But the point is that as they're going along, it's just so interesting watching the situations they get into, and some of the people that they pick up. Like, they pick up a guy from Estonia who I really did not like him because he thinks he's funny. He's always trying to do these really funny things, but they're like, I like me a good pun. he does nothing but terrible puns. Like, just the worst, the most simple, easiest ones.
Are you talking about the YouTuber character that is heavily inspired by PewDiePie?
I actually don't remember if he was a YouTuber or not. But the dub gave him a really weird English accent to try and, tip you off that he's from Estonia.
Right.
Don't think he's the YouTuber. I think that's somebody else.
Right.
But they're dealing with like their technology slowly failing as power lines and antennas and all that go away. Having to outrun the sinking or the collapsing, finding safe places when there's aftershocks. I just thought it was a really good disaster series with some weird elements. I like a good disaster movie. So a good disaster movie, not a bad disaster movie. So like Independence Day was terrible but fun, but Armageddon was just terrible.
Fuck off! Armageddon was amazing.
Look,
so bad it was
every
good.
movie that Bruce Willis is in is not guaranteed to be so bad it's good.
It's so bad it's good.
Well, this one was just good. This one was not even. It did get a little weird, so I think it's more akin to Independence Day when things get really, really weird. But it's like a good weird. It's an interesting weird.
Is it though?
Did you not like Japan Sinks?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. Well, see, there you go. Hidden gem.
So I'm just trying to check something, because... Yep, I thought so.
It's Science Arrow. Yes, it is. Yeah.
What?
Oh, is that not what you were talking about? The animation company is Science Arrow.
No. It's Masaki Yuasa, who did fucking Devilman Crybaby.
Yeah, it's Science Arrow. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Devilman is Science Arrow.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. Fucking anyway, right? So ignoring derailment.
Well, I think the animation style is a lot better. I know you hate the animation in Devilman Crybaby. I think this one's a lot more.
It does
sane.
look a lot cleaner.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, the proportions in Devilman Crybaby were just all over the place.
Yeah.
But regardless of that, I'm not a huge fan of this no shading. Right. I'm just gonna put that out there. I don't like how flat everything looks. But one thing that always came, whenever anyone's ever spoken about Japan Sinks, they always reference one part about the cult.
Yeah.
Where I think it's supposed to be a kid that is the son of the cult leader or something, that through a miracle regains the ability to talk or something. And there's this huge memed scene where the kid goes Okasa, and then a rock from the ceiling falls down.
Rocks fall,
and
everyone
crushes
dies.
the kid's head.
Yeah.
Huh? What's up, Loz?
Terrible.
Yeah, it honestly, it's just terrible. But for some strange reason, there's people out on the internet that have seen it and love it because it's quote-unquote funny, but every single time it's shown out of context, it looks horrific.
I think it's they think that it's comedic because of the timing, but I think it's just like I think that's kind of true to life. Is sometimes good things happen and then they're immediately undone by something horrible.
So, out of interest, how accurate was my description of that? Like, that's how it happens. Yep. Okay.
Oh, then there's this old guy who can no-scope people with a bow. He's so amazing. I love him.
He can. Well, I'd be concerned if there was a scope on a bow.
Well, you know what I mean. He doesn't even really. He doesn't have to take time to aim. He just.
No, I know what you mean. Like, he's very, very good with a bow.
Yeah.
Right. I am going to take the opportunity to talk to you about a hidden gem that I really, really enjoyed, which I don't know 100% how to pronounce. It's called, I call it Gleipnir.
Gleipnir? Gleipnir? Yeah.
It could be Gleipnir. I honestly just don't know. But
I think if it's German, it's Gleipnir, but I could be wrong.
I think it is German. So it came out in 2020, and oh god, it's just really hard to describe. It's kind of survival anime, right? It's where characters have to. Okay, so here's the world setting. An alien has crash landed on Earth in Japan, and he looks human, but all his companions have fallen into the forests of a nearby town, right? Into this mountainous forest in a nearby town, but all his companions are still in cryostasis. And in cryostasis, they look like a coin. A gold coin with a star on it. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, we can see one there depicted. But what he ends up doing as the alien, if you bring him a gold coin, he will give you a power. Right? He will give you a superpower that allows you to do what you want, what your heart truly desires. Right?
Is this like a genie where it comes with unexpected consequences?
There are kind of unexpected consequences, right? But I think that's more a case of I didn't think my wish through sort of thing than anything else. But there is an opportunity to undo it, and that's just by getting more coins. Yeah? There are a limited number of coins out in the wilderness. Yeah? And it's kind of battle royale in that sense. Mm-hmm. Where there are a group of people that are trying to get these coins. Now, one of our main characters is this male school student who has had a wish cast upon him. He wasn't even aware of this until basically he went out for a walk one night and he came across, well, basically he discovered there was a building on fire, and he saw this girl here who was trapped in the building, and she was dying to the fire. And all of a sudden, he turned into this, like, big, weird mascot character. Like, you've seen people wear mascot suits and things. That is what his visual appearance turned into. Like, this big, hulking mascot character. And he burst through the building, saved her. Right?
I feel like I've seen part of this.
Right. But she has her own traumatic past. Her sister has disappeared. And it turns out that she's trying to do anything she can to find out information about her sister. In doing so, she is really abusing the relationship between her and the guy that there he is, who turns into this weird mascot character, to the point of it turns out that someone can actually sort of pilot him.
Oh my god!
Actually get inside.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
All right.
Right.
What?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's a mascot. Like he is the suit. He is not someone in a suit. He is the suit. So people are able to climb inside him and actually control him, and he loses all control. This is her inside of him right now. So she experiences everything.
That's what the fleshy background. Okay, got it.
Yeah, and she's so they share memories and things like this. But depending on who the wearer is determines what the output is. If you have special power, you basically become yourself, but a hell of a lot more advanced. Because she doesn't, she's just piloting him as normal, right? But he loses all control. Like, so if... and this is him in his normal form. In his human form. If she decides to kill someone, he has no way of stopping her. Right?
Wow.
While being piloted. Yeah. So, like, that. So she starts abusing this relationship. And because she is the pilot... people don't even know who's piloting. So they think he's just there on his own. It's just him.
So he gets blamed for these things too.
Exactly, right? So, and there he is, like, you know, like, so she, at this instance, she's taken a photo of what's happened, him transforming and things. So she's using it to blackmail him. She puts the phone on the side of the school, and then as he tries to go get it, she pushes him off, and he transforms. He hulks out. Of course. And then he jumps back up to you know, seek revenge. Honestly, it's a really good series. There's a lot more to it than that. There's this whole battle royale element to it where there are people that with these powers that are fighting each other for the gold coins. Because, as I said, if there is something special about it, like if you get 100 coins,
get an extra life.
No. It's not a case of you get an extra life. You basically become omnipotent. Right?
Yeah.
You can do whatever the hell you want. So all these people that have these powers, they are trying to get the coins. They're forming groups so that one person can become God and cast the spells. What, have we lost me?
You're back.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so they're forming groups. They're trying to get people to... you know, they're trying to make one person this god character so that they can get, you know, they can grant everyone's wishes within the group, so on and so forth. Honestly, it's a really good series. It's only had 1 season so far. I really do hope it gets a 2nd season, but even if it doesn't, this isn't really something to sleep on. It's actually a really, really good series.
When did it come out?
2020.
2020? Okay. Yeah, I could get a 2nd season. Yeah.
Well, I mean, hell, bloody the Irregular at Magic High School, was it 10 years before it got announced it was getting a 2nd season?
Yeah.
Well, what was there was one... There's something like that. There has been series that it's been like 10 years and then, oh, look, 2nd season.
ReZero was a bloody age of the day.
The Devil's a Part-Timer Season 2. There you go. That was 10 years. Sorry, that was the one I was thinking of. So, yeah. You know, who knows how long it'll be before it gets a 2nd season. But if it gets a 2nd season, but honestly, I really enjoyed this.
What if it gets a 2nd season before No Game No Life? How would you feel then?
I think it does deserve a 2nd season, but I still think No Game No Life deserves a 2nd season. I mean, I ranted about that during Notice Me Senpai, the fact that fucking Madhouse have done fucking 4 seasons of goddamn fucking Overlord.
This is last week's Notice Me Senpai for people watching.
Oh yeah, fair point. But yeah, and yet still fucking 1 season, No Game, No Life. Oh my fucking god.
Oh,
Madhouse just go. Oh, let's no Madhouse, not
Madhouse. Oh, Madhouse. Oh, Mappa too. But also,
lost you?
No. Hello?
No. Okay. Sorry. Little hiccup with the internet. But yeah, so you know, it's Madhouse, not Mappa, and
same difference.
Oh, they just want to print money.
Mappa is like Touchstone to Disney. Madhouse is Disney, and Mappa is Touchstone.
Sure.
Where are we at with episodes of season 4 of Overlords and dub? Is the dub actually coming out? So I'm gonna need your guys' help.
Oh no.
So I have no idea what's happening.
Oh no.
I don't think we would know.
Yeah, well,
like Xeno said in Notice Me Senpai, Ainz doesn't even know.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
He honestly doesn't. And that confuses me, because he agrees to one thing, then does another, then goes all mad, then goes nice, then does his weird thing, then does... Oh, God, I need you guys to endure it with me.
Okay, Loz, do you want to tell us about Mobile Suit Gundam MS IGLOO?
Right. Let's have some eye cancer put on screen here.
Cancer, not candy.
Yeah. No, it's cancer. Well, okay, the mechs look cool, but the people look horrible. Right, so this is it's 2 series. There's 2 series to MS IGLOO. I think it's season 1 or season 2, whatever.
Actually, I think there's 3. There's 3 OVA series. Yeah.
I can't remember what that is there, but I remember 2 of them. I'm not sure what the 3rd one is, or if it is counted.
I don't
third.
remember.
Right, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, it's not.
Yeah.
Now you understand. Right now. Yeah. I can't remember when this was it got a date for its release? 2004. Right, so it's early, you know, so this is like when C was around and they decided to do can we do an entire CG series? It doesn't look the best, it hasn't aged the best, it is massive uncanny valley, as you can see. But I love the context of these. Well, I don't know the third one. I probably have seen the third one. I can't remember what it is. Maybe it's like two halves of the same thing. But there was two halves that I remember, and I really enjoy it because it is telling you not the stories of the main people. These are side stories. These are okay. So the one half of it that I remember is independent episodes, where each episode is just telling you some person and a thing. Like, for instance, there was a woman whose love interest was a spy, but actually it was a spy that was actually a double agent by the side they're on, but they couldn't tell her that. But she had to live in pain, the fact that everyone believed she was in love with the traitor. Was she also a traitor? So everyone hated her for it, but in actual truth, the person was a double agent, and it was all part of the cover. But she suffered horribly for it, and then she just became mad and battle. The only way she could just absolve herself was just to go mental in battle, so that she got put in this special squad. It's all set in the 1 Year War, the main first war of Gundam, and it's these little side stories for that. There's loads of independent ones. There's another one about like testing tanks early on the Earth Federation side. They're trying to make a better tank or against. Is
that where they make the big tanks that like have the robot upper half?
No, that's a gun tank. Okay. No, this is what I mean. This is even lower than this. This is like dealing with bloody normal tanks in this universe. Yeah, because they still exist. They still form an important role, because you can't, for every one mobile suit you can make 10 tanks or more. They are so cheap. So it's like, what role does this play? And there's also another thing where then the second half of the series is focused on a Xeon team, and it's a Xeon team that are testing like cutting edge technology. So they're testing prototypes. So things like the way the Earth Alliance has to launch their ships into orbit is they make them underground, and then they launch them from Jabro into space. I'm going to keep saying that name, so if you ever come back, bloody Jabro is bloody South America, big
underground base. Yeah,
it's where they make the spaceships. So they have to launch. I think you do see it in the Origin as well. They launch the spaceships from the surface. Yeah, you see it once.
You see the ships taking off, but you don't see where they're taking off from.
No, they're just and they're just going into space. That's all you see. But it's this annoying thing. They never really, unless you have to watch everything. But so, for instance, this team tries to come up with a high-speed unit that will fly around the Earth in orbit to attack them at the point they come up into space. So because they're like, God damn it, we need to stop them launching ships. How do we come up with different ways of trying to stop them?
There's only so many places you can escape.
There's so many places, because it's obviously they don't want you to do this, so it's protected here, and here. You have to. There's only so many vulnerable windows. They test that kind of stuff. They also get given test units to test. So it's I really like it because it stays in me more than other Gundam shows, because it's not about the main hero. It's not about we defeated all the army. These are normal people who have just got to do the job in front of them, and it's really quite humbling. And also the Xeon side, obviously, because when the war obviously turns against them, and they're given like things to test which are just useless. It's just terrible. Oh, there's one thing that always stick in mind is do you know what a Zaku is? Yeah, if I say Zaku.
Yeah.
So the Zaku is the mainstay unit, but then in the lore, before the Zaku took prominence, because you saw the development of Zaku. There was another company which also developed mobile suits along the same time called the Zeta, and it is actually better than the Zaku.
Is that still part of Xeon?
Yes. Yeah, that's the thing. They've expanded this lore so much, it's just ridiculous. There's all these different companies, which is the actual thing is they've taken inspiration from the way wars work. In war, there isn't in say like the American Army has the M1 Abrams. The American Army doesn't make the Abrams. A company does that is bought by, and there's loads of different companies.
I don't know if that one's Lockheed Martin, but Lockheed Martin is one of the biggest. Yeah.
And then, for instance, the current fighter jet, the main fighter jet we've all bought, which is rubbish in a lot of ways. It's stupidly expensive. The I can't remember what it's called. YF-37 something. I can't remember. What it does take off a landing. There's 3 variants of it. We've got it. Japan's got it. America's got it. Do you know what plane I'm talking about?
The ones that can take off vertically.
Yeah, the new one. Even that, when there was before they picked that, there was another company that did a test one. So it was like which company wins, and they've done that for kind of mobile suits in the story of it. So the Zaku won, but there was other ones which weren't as good. No, it was better actually. It was better than the Zaku in performance. The problem was it has a different type of reactor. It still ran on Minovsky particles, but it was a different core and things. And it would be prone to overheating. and it would explode. But its output was massive for the time. So it would massively outperform the Zaku, but you had to manage the reactor a lot better, and if you didn't, it would just overheat and explode. And later in the war, when the Zeon are trying to propagandize that, oh, we've got this new super unit coming out, and they give the Zetas to the team, but the Earth Alliance, because they're better at spying, have already found out that this is just the Zeta again. You haven't fixed it, it's just a paper tiger. And so this team have been told, you have to test this mobile suit, you have to make it look good, when the enemy already knows that it's just a useless piece of rubbish. And then they have to use it to try and save their lives. And it is just far superior to even what the enemy throw at them. But quite a few people blow up using it. Yeah. No, they blow up using it, but it is just the output. You know, so it's these little stories that are just more true. They just feel really solid and true. That it's not that these people aren't the people who are going to win the war decisively by piloting the super weapon that destroys the universe. They're not the hero. These are just normal people, and on both sides of the story, even the one. Yeah, the little stories, and this is I really like the concept of this, and yeah, the CG doesn't hold up on the people, but I just really enjoy it. This a lot more than a lot of shows. I really like this as a Gundam show. I don't think I could get many people to watch it because I haven't watched it in a few years now, but it probably looks awful, even worse now. But the concept was so good. I loved it so much. It stays with me.
I don't know if you're describing this as a hidden gem or a guilty pleasure.
It's both. Because I could show it to people and they'd be like, "Loz, Loz, look, Loz, my eyes are melting. Loz, my eyes have melted onto the floor. That's not how a human mouth moves, Loz. Loz, what is that?"
Is it better or worse than
the story?
Is it better or worse than Spirits Within?
I don't think Spirits Within is that bad, to be honest.
Oh come on!
No, Spirits Within isn't that bad.
I don't get why people hate Spirits Within. I think it's just people who do like, computers can make things that look like people. I'm scared now.
Things did not look like people to you?
Well, they
more like
at the time they were like, I thought it was really cool.
At the time it was really
perfect, but my annoying thing was when did they get the giant
stylized? Yeah, it's stylized, right?
Yeah.
That's the important. Right, so it's important when you can't make something look realistic, you stylize it. You don't try. You make it entertaining and stylize it. That's one of the biggest problems with things like I want to say like Marvel and DC, like pioneering the way to make characters like these, completely CG characters look real. And it's like, that's the problem. You're trying to make these things look real to cater to an audience, and as a result, you're really hampering the narrative because all the budget has to go in fucking CGing someone's green face.
Yeah.
Instead, just go, look, this is as good as we're gonna get.
Style.
Just get some prosthetics. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, the mechs look cool, and they move okay because you can accept them because they're robots. So those bits look cool. But it's the people. Yeah. But so it is my guilty pleasure, and in some ways I call it a hidden gem, but at the same time I wouldn't like. I'm never gonna get you guys to watch this because you'd just be like, oh.
No, I mean, like, I think with your not confession. How do I describe this? With your
confirmation, recommendation.
No. Yeah, with your recommendation, I really think that maybe I'll give it a go. I mean, hell, I didn't truly value the Gundam, Gundam the Origin, until I was like, okay, well, we have this one, we have to sit down and we have to go through it. So I was like, fuck, I've been sleeping on this for goddamn years, right?
Well, yeah.
I think I have to see them in action, but it doesn't really look too bad. I mean, it looks watchable just from the stills.
Yeah, but that's the problem.
I watched Reboot as a kid, and I still like it as an adult. So, I mean, I'm sure I could deal with this.
I mean,
yeah, I'm sure
sometimes.
You could, but
Sometimes you just make allowances, like if it doesn't matter if it looks like butt, as
long as the story is good.
Yeah, if it's entertaining, what else does it matter? Right. Should we
move
on?
At the same time, I don't think... Right. I would never... I mean, maybe a few guys, but I would never say this. This is why it's a bit of a guilty pleasure, because it would not be a good stepping off point if somebody doesn't know about the 1 Year War and all the bits about it. You know, this would never work like the Origins. But you need to know loads of established points, because this is a team that are just, you know, they have to deal with the politics and things of this, that, or the other. You know what they've been giving you, like, you know. And again, it's not even a big story. It's like it doesn't really resolve itself. They don't win the war. So this team that you're like, oh, they're testing.
They're doomed.
Well, yeah, you feel that they are doomed. It does have a happy ending. It's just like, you know, they do survive the final fight, but it's like they don't win the final fight. They just come away with their lives. That's all you can hope for, you know.
Right. I would like to talk about Katanagatari. And with a name like Katanagatari, people may think it's part of the Monogatari series. It is not. Right? This is completely separate. This is its own unique story. And this is one that I think a lot of people aren't truly aware of. So this is sort of like an alternative historic piece.
Oh, you got my attention immediately.
Okay, cool.
More. Give me more.
It's set in feudal...
Because of what? What?
Because it's an alternative history. I love alternative histories.
Oh.
Right. So...
Wait. So, can I interest you in the saga of Tanya the Evil, Nasuth?
Yes, you can, actually. I keep meaning to watch that.
So, this is set in feudal Japan, and... was there the cell? I can't... So, this has been many years since I've watched it. I have read up the plot synopsis. Basically, there was a war that was fought, and after the rebellion has succeeded and taken over the war, you know, the new leader of the country decides, you know, I want the 12 deviant blades, these weapons that are strewn across Japan that were made by a master swordsmith that were supposed to give incredible abilities to the wielder. And a strategist is basically sent to go and do this, and she is to recruit a master of the Kyoto Ryu school. Yeah, so the different a form of fighting. It's bladeless fighting, which is like interesting. But yeah, so basically she goes to go find the master of this school, but it turns out when she arrives to the island he has been exiled to, he has died. And the only two left on the island are his son and his daughter. His daughter, who is very ill, and his son, who is about as bright as a lamppost. That's not turned on. Anyway, so basically the strategist ends up recruiting the son to wander Japan with him to obtain these deviant blades in order to take back to her master, and antics ensue. So
as they tend to do.
I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I will say that this studio have done ReZero, they've done Steins Gate, they've done Jormungand, they've done Goblin Slayer.
Ooh.
You know, they've done a lot of big shows. They've also done The Cautious Hero. I think the first season of Arifureta. Oh no, it looks like they did the second season as well. So you know, they've done some really good stuff. So if their past works are any indication, you know, go check this one out. It's honestly a really, really good series that, to be honest, when it just passed in the wind to me. Like, no one has spoken about it. No one had really, you know, whenever anyone says, oh yeah, Katanagatari, oh yeah, that's a really good series, and that's it. The conversation just ends there. No one talks about this series. It is such a, you know,
it's got a really interesting visual style.
It has a very, very interesting visual style. Yeah, I don't know what more to say about this. This is
without giving things away that you don't want to. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all the characters are poignant. They have a purpose in the plot. But basically, the whole point is that these two, they just wander around. He has a very unique dress sense, very weird fashion sense. But yeah, he goes around and he is fighting barehanded against these katana wielding masters. So it's just like,
it's really interesting.
That's people lose fingers doing that, So yeah, honestly, it's a brilliant series. I don't know what more to say.
Well, then leave it at that.
Do you have any questions?
How many episodes is it?
12 episodes, but they're nearly an hour long each.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Damn.
That's unique.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah. I can't think of another anime that has. I mean, aside from like short OVAs that are like 3 or 4 episodes, I don't think I've ever really seen an anime that's over half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Really, really good series.
Cool. Shall I talk about one of my guilty pleasures?
Go for it.
Let's talk about Samurai Pizza Cats, specifically the English dub, because it is just so. The history of this is they didn't really have the scripts to work with when they got brought to America, and so they just sort of made up whatever they want. You can actually watch this right now on Tubi, I believe it's called. Yeah, that's the channel, Tubi, or it's not channel, the website, TUBI, and it's still just as bad as it was, but like in the best way. I watched a bit of it, and they were talking. There was Speedy, and so there's the 3 characters: Speedy, Cerviche, Guido Anchovy, and Polyester, who's the girl, obviously. And Speedy and Guido were fighting over a girl, and they started like getting weirdly political, and it's like there's no way this was in the original. Like one of them calls the other a pinko commie, and Speedy calls Guido a fascist, and then the girl's like, "I hate it when you guys get political. Stop!" It's so good.
Yeah, what was it? Was it Ghost Stories? Was the other one which had a dub,
yes.
Which was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So obviously, as you say, they didn't have the original scripts, and they had to make a show. They were literally just here's a load of animation, and they were like, okay, let's write these shows, let's write these scripts. And at the same time, nobody was. This is also. Though there was like strict stuff to do, it was obvious when it was like, oh, that's nudity, that's violence, we can't have these people doing that. Hitting people with swords, we can't have that kind of stuff. But the dialogue, you could sneak stuff by quite easily. It wasn't where the focus was. So that it's the same time as we had, what was it? Was it Animaniacs?
Yeah. Animaniacs.
Which also had a lot of
tunes and
Tiny Toons, a lot of nod, wink, winks.
Freakazoid. Oh, Freakazoid.
Exactly.
So much in Freakazoid.
The person who's like, I'm just obsessing this kid show, didn't really pay attention. It's like, oh yeah, look, I'm watching it. Oh, I'm watching this freaking. I'm paid to watch a kid show. Oh yeah, whatever, it's fine. There was no violence, nothing graphic. No, it's fine. Just let it go. Let's go. And then somebody goes, wait a minute. Hang on a minute. What are they saying?
It's pretty clear it was supposed to be a comedy, but I don't think it was supposed to be this kind of comedy.
It was supposed to be tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be just kind of taking the piss out of Sentai shows where they, bit villain of the week, let's transform and get shot out of a gun from our pizza store. Why not?
Yep. Gotta deliver pizza somehow.
But it turns out to, like Loz said, it turns out to be just this absolutely subversive cartoon with amazing dialogue.
Yep.
I can't.
Well, I don't know if you're aware of this, but when the original creators got the retranslated version of Samurai Pizza Cats,
I haven't heard this.
They absolutely loved it. They absolutely loved it. They thought it was brilliant. They loved the jokes that were made. Honestly, it was such a funny show.
Yeah.
Like, I remember because this. I only remember this being aired at 7 a.m. for us, like 7 a.m.
That's about right.
Like, it was so hard to catch this. I've just gone on to the Anime Planet. There's 54 episodes.
Yes,
of this.
there are. Yes,
I
don't think they showed that many.
No, I swear they didn't show that many. I swear they only showed like 2.
I was gonna say 24,
UK.
but yeah.
Maybe like 8.
Maybe, but I was a poor fucker and just kept on running into the same 2 every single time. But it's hilarious what they did. I mean, the fact that they had this Fox character referred to as the Big Cheese.
Yeah, because he looks like a mouse to them.
Well, yeah, and it's just like, but he's a fox.
He's
so
Fox.
Like, yeah, we kind of realized that afterwards. And like, whoops.
And they gave him, I can't remember the name of the guy, but they gave him a very, like, recognizable speech pattern from an actor in, like, the 70s and 80s. I can't remember his name, though.
What, the actor or the...
The actor. The actor that the Big Cheese was aping.
Oh, God. It was very, De
Niro?
No. It doesn't really matter. I say that to say that he's got a very recognizable voice and a very like interesting speech pattern.
Yeah. But again, like, the crows were brilliant. The jokes with the big robots that they had to fight. It was just a brilliant series.
There was another bit that I saw because I was clicking through to get good quality, good quality images as I could, and Speedy used like a hypnosis beam on 3 of the crows, and he told them like, "Oh, you're at a rock. You want to go to this cool rock concert, but there's only 1 ticket left. You guys have to fight for it." And there's no way. There's no way that was in the original.
Yeah.
And we have to mention the absolute banger of an
intro.
Yeah. They've got more further than any turtle ever had.
I mean, I don't know what the original was, but this one is just ridiculous.
It really, really was.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant guilty pleasure.
Not really a hidden gem, more of a guilty pleasure.
But damn, I kind of want to see if I can actually get a hold of it, because I did that recently with comparatively recently with Freakazoid. Freakazoid was so ahead of its time.
Yep, it holds up so well even today, just amazingly.
Yeah, like, I swear, if they actually released Freakazoid like 5 to 10 years later, it would have done leagues better.
Yeah.
Right? But it was just so ahead of its time. Should we move to my next one then?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. So, I made Loz watch 1 episode of this.
Oh my goodness.
And he turned around.
I know which one you're doing.
Okay. So the first 2 minutes of the show are different from the rest of the show, and the first 2 minutes are just shock value times 2,000, and then it goes back to here's the actual show. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. No. But and then I was just a bit like, yeah. I don't know. Maybe if I got into it and started caring about when the arcs start up, and then I was
so this is a guilty pleasure, by far. It's a series that it's about writing light novels, right? About creators doing stuff that is their passion, that they want to express themselves the way that their crazy brain wants to express themselves, and nothing else. And these creators, these light novel authors, are beyond eccentric, to say the least. I've given a kind of rundown of the
opening
what Loz
scene
was just described in tomorrow's Notice Me Senpai. So if you want to,
no.
You want me to tell you now?
Last week's Notice Me Senpai, or did you do it again?
It was this week's.
No, it's the one that came out Thursday or Saturday.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the Guilty Pleasures one was last week.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep losing it.
I keep endlessly repeating the same Notice Me Senpais.
Shush you! I don't get to pick what people do until I do, and then it turns out I made a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, that's happened before. Yeah.
Anyway, the whole point is, yes, so I described it last week, but basically, I find this hilarious because it's really interesting to see these creators try to do stuff, and one of them ends up creating. So his light novel ends up being produced into an anime, and everyone hates it. You know, he said like they were still having script reviews up until a month before the first episode was to go out, right? And it's like, you know, that should have been alarm bells. There's problems. And everyone hates it. Everyone's slamming it. They love the original. They love the light novel, but they absolutely detest this adaptation, right? And, you know, we've seen it. Like, I've finished reading the first arc of Chainsaw Man, and the anime has some really big boots to fill.
You gotta stop saying that, otherwise I'll be like, yeah, that was alright, Drew, but I mean, yeah. And you're like, no, it was so good, it did its thing. I'm like, right, I'll read the manga.
So good in the manga!
It's not that great. When you talked about
what? Manga's so good.
I don't know, I'll have to read it and see.
Wait,
did someone just join or that?
Someone did.
Yeah, it's Joey. Is that
Joey?
We got a surprise Joey?
I don't think he's meant to be here.
He's not meant to be here. I mean, he can be here if he wants, but he's not meant to be. Should we pause?
Yeah.
Okay.
I renamed it now to Rack Xenos Pashike. Anyway. Regardless of that brief interruption, yeah, so I find this really interesting. I find it's a great, fun series to see. I feel it's kind of true to life, though, with, you know, what authors go through and things. I mean, yes, I think it's spiced up a bit because it's an anime, but still, I do feel that this is kind of more of an accurate depiction. I think that, you know, it shows some of the quirks. Like, oh, you have the deadline and then you have the true deadline. What do you mean? What's the true deadline? It's like the deadline that you can't miss. So they give you a deadline you can miss, and then you have the deadline you can't miss.
What's the point of that?
Well, I mean, like, you know, but I think that it's a really fun, interesting show. I really enjoy it. But I totally 100% get that it's not going to be for everyone.
So sometimes you can really tell when you're watching an anime, even if it's not like an ecchi or anything. You can tell that the author or the artist is trying to put in some of their fetishes. Does this feel like that, or is it just taking the piss out of stuff like that?
No, I think it's taking the piss out of stuff like that because, like, so one of the authors, she's like the best author that they have, but there's never any mistakes in there, and they will pay for her to work in like hotels and things like that, so that, you know, she's like, because her books just fly off the shelves, right? But she works naked.
I mean, some artists do that. Like, their artists can be really weird sometimes.
Yeah. So some artists can be very weird like that. But the other side of it is, you know, you just get some people that are just really eccentric. Some people that come up with amazing creative stuff. And yeah, I don't know. I just like it. I don't know if the main author that came up with this is that kind of weird, but I enjoyed it. And I totally get that this is not going to be everyone's cup of tea. But I loved it. I thought it was hilarious.
Remind me to tell you about a review I saw on it later.
Of this?
Yeah.
Is it scathing?
Oh yeah. I don't want to get too deep into it because it might be a little political, so I'm not gonna really.
Okay. Next, Nasuth.
I bet you they just focus on that first section and they just.
that is a big part of it. Yeah.
But I was like, what the hell is this? And it is shock. But at the same time, it is actually filming a important thing. It's setting up the character of one of the artists and showing you what he wants to write, and then it lets you know what he's being forced to write. So it's his motivation, it's the setting, it's the not the tone, because the tone is just he just keeps saying the same thing. It's not that doesn't set up the tone of it. It just sets up him as a character. You know, his goals, motivations.
No, but that's what I mean. By setting up his character sets the tone.
No.
Fine, I'm not gonna.
A character. I'd say a character can help inform the tone, but yeah.
Anyway,
you can do both. You can do both at the same time. You can set up a character and a tone.
No. It doesn't, because they don't often shove used underwear into people's faces.
In all honesty,
it
wasn't used. It was
yes, they
fresh.
No.
Fresh.
Yes, it's soiled.
They're magic soiled panties from another dimension. Yes,
I don't remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. This is why
he also eats eggs that she laid and milk that she produced.
You can stop. If we're not going to give this proper context, there is no proper context. It's funny. I enjoyed it.
Right.
Nasuth, go on.
So, from that, I'm going to go on to Eden, which is another Netflix movie. So the story on this one is if it'll
should load.
Oh, I bet. When I went over to disc, yep, that's There we go.
Nasuth broker.
Yeah. If Discord's in front of this window, it just doesn't work because Electron. So the story on this is that it is a world set hundreds, if not thousands, of years after humanity has disappeared, and all that's left are these robots who are performing tasks that they were set to do, and then they just kept doing them after no one was around anymore. So like the robots that we're following, they tend to these orchards of apple trees, and they plant more. That's their whole goal, is they just keep planting more and more. Like right here, you can see them planting little saplings. But they, during one of their trips, they accidentally activate like a cryopod with this little baby girl inside of it, little baby human girl. And at first they're like, what is this? Is this what? And then they figure out it's a human, and their first instinct is to kind of go like, oh, but humans are bad. We've been told humans are terrible. What should we do? But eventually they decide to take care of her, because she doesn't seem terrible. She's just a little kid, little tiny baby. She's even younger than in this picture when they find her. And so they decide to take care of her, and it's a little comedic. They have to figure out what to do, how to feed her. They eventually figure out once she's old enough that she likes apples, so they feed her a lot of apples. But eventually she gets to the point where she's old enough. She's like a teenager. Where do you go? What do you know? Right there, she's a teenager, and she wants to find out what's more about the world. She wants to go on her adventure. She wants to. Why are there no humans around? Why is she the only one? What else is out there in the world? Are there more that they just haven't discovered yet? And so that starts getting into, we got our protagonist with her goal to go find people. And then we got our antagonist, which is the leader of the robots, who finds out about her and wants to stop her. And I won't get too deep into more of it. There is this whole we do actually get to flashback to see the humans and how all this happened and why the robots are all taking care of the world like this. But I don't want to get too deep into that because it'll spoil it. Let's just say that there are more people, and there's a deeper meaning to the robot that wants to make sure that nobody ever comes back. Nobody humans ever come back. I thought it was really good.
So I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Why are the people CG?
Oh yeah, the movie is CG, but it's not terrible. It's not like it's one of those.
It's a movie.
Yeah, it's a movie. Yeah, it's not a series. It's a movie. It is CG, but it's not the terrible, like super terrible CG. Most of the movements seem pretty natural. The robots are fine because they're CG. And there's not too many. There aren't too many humans, so you don't have to worry about that. And one of the robots, this blue robot on screen right now, is voiced by David Tennant. So that's a plus. But yeah, no, she sees them a lot like her mother and father. The other robots that they work with come to see her as like kind of their mascot. Like it's while these are her mother and father, the rest of them are all like kind of aunts and uncles. It's so good. It's the big climactic final battle with I can't get into it.
So if you were to compare this to anything else, Akira?
No, not Akira. Not Akira.
I was mostly joking with that one. But
I'm trying to think of another show or movie or anime where people have been in cryostasis for generations. Oh, WALL-E. It could be like WALL-E. You could say it's a lot like WALL-E. Yeah. Only with more people.
Fair?
Oh my gosh.
Questions, Loz?
No, yeah, I don't. It sounds really cool. I wouldn't want it spoiled.
Okay.
Seems cool. Yeah.
Cool. In that case, I think I'll take over, and I'm going to talk about my last one, which is actually one Loz recommended to me that I'd never heard of before, which is Rokka, Braves of the Six Flowers. Right? You remember this, Loz?
Is this the Aztec one with the symbols on the hands? Oh, I didn't finish this. I really I was like, God damn.
What?
Yeah, I know. I was like, God, I've watched like 2 episodes. I think 1 or 2 episodes of this. Hey, this is pretty good. Have you seen this? What's that, Loz? Is it a show? It's like, yeah. Wow, Loz found an anime I hadn't seen before. I was like, it's pretty good. It's like, oh, it's pretty good, Loz. I'm like, Loz, you finished it? I'm like, no. Pretty good, though. Hey, Loz, did you see this anime? It's pretty good.
Actually, I know I haven't, but I'm intrigued now.
Yeah, so this completely thrown me for a loop. I was gonna so basically the premise of this one is once every X period, I think it's like 1,000 years, these old gods, something like that. These old gods are resurrected. You know, just naturally, it's a time-based thing, and much like. What's the name of the movie that I did before? Fifth Element. So that and every time before these evil gods, these evil deities are resurrected, these 6 heroes are chosen from around the world to gather together to complete a trial to prevent these gods from resurrecting. And
I can't Gendo. Trying to Gendo, I can't Gendo.
Good. And one of these characters, he's like, no, I'm the strongest man alive, and I can, I will be one of the 6. He's trying to challenge the king and all his warriors and everything else, and he does in fact win this tournament. It's within the first few minutes of the first episode, and he does it through kind of very smart, very cheeky ways. So one of the things
use
he
of
does,
game mechanics.
Yeah, he's gaming the system. He's counting cards. No, I'm joking. So one of the things he does is he actually has in the bottom of his, I think it's a scabbard. He has like a trap door that releases caltrops, right? And one of the the generals that is fighting in this tournament has bare feet, and he just ends up standing on the caltrops, and it's just like, this is underhanded tactics. You can't possibly be one of the braves. You're not honorable. It's like, fuck being honorable. It's about winning, right?
Yeah.
So it's again. So they end up. They slowly start to accumulate in this trial area of the world, and the prophecy is there's 6 braves and everything, and they end up being forced into the trial area. Everyone's rushed in there. They've all slowly met up. Like, I think by episode 3, 4 of them have met up together, and then they get into the trial area. There's 7 of them. Right? and
everyone's got a hand tattoo.
Everyone's got a mark of the brave. Everyone's got like a flower on the back of their hand. No, it's somewhere on their body. So everyone's got a flower, and they've been trapped. Right before they've managed to get to the trial, they're trapped in this temple, and they can't get out of the area. So it's like, you know, they go through the forest and they end up back at the temple, sort of thing. So it's like so
it's Zelda, and they're in the Lost Woods. Yeah.
I was gonna go with Pac-Man, and when they go off the edge of the screen, they come back on the other side. But I mean, sure, that one.
Well, they got symbols on their hands, just like Link, and there's a temple. It's Zelda. It's totally Zelda. Oh, there's a horse. They got Epona. So yeah.
You're making references. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Don't know what you're talking about.
Oh.
Are you? Do you not? Have you not Zelda?
You've watched Zelda games played.
Yeah. Well, I mostly watch the people talk about the Zelda games. That it doesn't matter. Anyway, So I've really enjoyed this series. It's a really good fun series where, again, that you've got these very skilled warriors. They all have different, abilities. Some of them are magical based. One of them is a sharpshooter. One of them wields a big heavy hammer. It's all about using their own strengths to the best of their abilities, and that's what makes them one of these braves. And you have to, they do properly lay out all the bits of information that's needed to work out who the imposter is, right? Who the sussy one is. And it's a great series. I wish there was a second season.
I'm liking the character and outfit designs. They look pretty nice. Yeah.
Yep. Everyone's pretty much a loner. No one wants to trust anyone else. So it's a great situation. L and Light wish that they were this smart. Yeah. And this clever and cunning. Instead of being utterly moronic. Yeah.
It's always every 1,000 years though. Why is it never every?
No. I don't know. I don't know how long it is. But the whole point is that every X period of time, they're due to come back, right? Yeah. So they need and then one of the other deities basically selects the best of the best to come together to fight. But I think I could be wrong. One of the bad deities basically select someone else to infiltrate and make them fail. So it's an anime Among Us.
Oh, I feel like I saw a meme recently talking about how anime did it Among Us before Among Us, but I don't remember.
Yeah. So, I mean, this would totally be one of them. But yeah, so it's a brilliant series. It's very beautiful. It's very clever. It's very well told. I think I binge-watched the whole damn thing. It's really, really good. This is another one that we're going to have to get Nasuth to watch and Loz to finish. So
many things I need to watch.
I don't know if you have anything else you want to cover, Nasuth?
I could talk about Golden Kamuy, but I haven't really watched enough of that one yet other than I absolutely love it. It's really good so far. But I haven't. I don't really think I've watched enough to say why it would be a hidden gem. Other than that, it's really good, and a lot of people apparently don't know about it.
I would strongly recommend people check out Golden Kamuy. It's a very good setting. It's a very good. I don't think we've got it in the system, do we?
If we do, I forgot to put it in this week. I forgot to add the this week tag.
Was that Loz saying yes we do?
I swear we've had it on before.
I'm sure we've had it on before.
Let me...
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, just slap it on.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
So essentially, it's an ex-soldier after a war who is like... have you ever seen Dances with Wolves? Probably not.
Yes, yeah.
Many years ago.
Okay, well there you go. It's kind of like that, where this ex-soldier starts living with the people. I don't know if they were fighting them. I've forgotten that. But it's more of a native group of people, like a little.
I think the term is indigenous.
I don't know if they're even really indigenous so much as just isolated.
No one's indigenous. Everyone's indigenous. It's a stupid word.
But anyway, he starts living with them and learning their ways of life, and there's this whole treasure hunt story going on too. It's really interesting. It's really enjoyable.
It's like a serious One Piece without any magic.
Yeah.
I would say that's a really, really good way of describing it. It is one that a lot of people slept on. It's getting its 4th season this autumn, so in a month's time, the 4th season should have started.
The reason why two reasons I think I did watch about 5 or 6 episodes, and I thought it was amazing. The art is great, the setting is interesting. The 2 things that put me off it though is you have to be in the right mindset for it, and I was like, I'm in the mindset at the moment for giant robots or superheroes or fantasy with magic and things. So it's not. It is very grounded, grounded. I love a moment this early on where 2 guys fall into a river and they're like, right, we have to get warm in the next few minutes or we're dead. Very serious. And the other thing that puts me off is I keep worrying that, and I believe the show could do it, I don't know if it does, but it just could have depressing moments where it'll just kill off characters. It gives me that kind of vibe. It is, again, because it is so serious. I mean, I doubt it will for any of the main characters. Maybe it does at points, I don't know. But so again, you're gonna have to prepare yourself and be like, oh, okay, yeah, because it feels very real. Yeah, here's the 2 of them, and they're like, they finally make a fire, and they know they get to live because otherwise they're gonna die of hypothermia. It's very.
Well, the episode I just watched had a really it's got an interesting new character, but he's also like I can't tell if he's going to be a good guy or a bad guy because he did something really, really shocking and brutal, but also he seems to like our main character, and but I can't tell if it's like he likes our main character as he wants to be friends with him, or if he likes him the same way that the Joker likes the Batman, where it's we're rivals and we must be together.
It feels like every character, apart from a Shipper, that every character has a good and dark side. Yeah. It's everyone is really well balanced in the fact that they both have light and dark elements to them. I'd say she's the only character in the entire series that is just purely good.
I'd say the rest of her village mostly is probably like that. Remember her grandmother and everything?
Okay, fine, but I don't really count them much as characters because they don't return.
That's
right?
fair.
Or they don't return much, right? So, but yeah, I think I feel that the fact that all the characters are well balanced really helps lend to the
much like real people.
Yeah, the comment of Loz saying it's like real world One Piece. Yeah. That was what you said, wasn't it?
That's what I was thinking, because I was saying about this stuff, and I was remember the treasure thing, and I was thinking, that's one of the main thing of One Piece, but at the same time, it's that it's real. It's there's this, hunt for gold or whatever, but it's
hunt for stolen gold.
That's the same. Everyone,
everyone has their dual motives, and it's a brilliant series that a lot of people have missed. I think
I've been resisting the urge to binge it because it's that good.
Mr. I binge all of Mushoku Tensei.
Yep.
Why does it say Drew skipping Ghouls and Panzer?
Because Drew is skipping Ghouls and Panzer.
Loz will do Ghouls and Panzer quickly.
Okay, fine. If you want to do Ghouls and Panzer.
I will call that quickly. Unless someone you don't want Golden Kamuy?
I don't really. Again, I haven't watched enough of it to really, really say for sure if it's going to be a hidden gem. But so far it is. I don't see it really changing. Yeah, as Xeno says it is.
I have barely gotten that far into it. I think about 5-6 episodes, and it is definitely a gem. I can see it oozes quality. It just and it's just you can just feel that it's going to have a good setting, and it's just going to keep pumping out good stuff. You just know it. You don't feel like anything is spare. You feel like
everything's important. Yeah.
And I know I was only a few episodes in, and I could feel that good. Anyway, but Girls and Panzer is not that. Girls and Panzer is just pure guilty pleasure. It is just utter stupidity. This is a world in which for some reason, there are like the equivalent of giant aircraft carrier size ships, which have towns and schools on, and those schools
Countries.
What?
They're basically countries. They're massive.
Yeah, they're sort
there
of
is
countries,
there is a
Japanese.
screenshot in here.
They're sort of themed, but they're all Japanese. Yeah, they
Are
are.
they?
Yes,
okay.
because they all go onto the mainland when they go and do bigger tank battles. The world makes no sense. How this world existed, no one knows. There's probably a dark history in which, I don't know,
Doesn't matter.
bloody wars and things. But anyway, so
Doesn't matter, go with pleasure.
on these aircraft carrier, massive, bigger than aircraft carrier sized country/town sort of things, sort of G Gundam style, but at sea. They have schools. In the schools, the girls can do many things, and one of them is the lost hobby/art/skill of tank battle. And so these aircraft carrier slash countries slash schools get the girls to build or repair tanks,
Maintain.
and then take them into battle against other girls at other schools to see who has the bestest tank battle team.
Some schools have rivalry in football. Some do basketball. This is about tank battles.
It's about tank battles, and it's treated as if like it's the equivalent of just like we're all gonna play. We're on the football team now. We're gonna resurrect the football team at this school, and we're gonna do the football team.
Just to interrupt real quick, they're at a convenience store right now, which is entirely there to supply anything you need for tanks.
Tanks, yeah.
Yeah.
There's also, this is why it's like the dark history. The tanks that the protagonists have, they're like, oh, there's a broken tank down the road. We'll resurrect that tank and we'll take it out of the ditch and we'll try that one. And oh yeah, it's a Type 34. Oh, we'll use that.
Oh my god!
And then at the same time, so the main group, the tank crews that they have for this main school, because they're kind of resurrect. They used to be like champions of the tank game or whatever, and but they all have like little. They have like little characters, and in one of the big shots you'll see it. So they have like, I think it's the delinquent tank. They want to put like giant flags on their tank and paint it red and things, and then this is like a detriment to them in the battles because they're all good.
Oh yeah, because you can see them. Yeah.
And so it's interesting to see all the little characters of the tank crews and things. And then, the main group, they have a mixture of the protagonist team of tanks. But then they go up against themed tank battalions, such as like the British tanks, the German tanks, the Russian tanks, the French tanks, I think. I can't remember what the other one is. It might be Italians. They had rubbish tanks. Could be the French. And so it's watching these girls progress through becoming tank battle masters. And obviously they appear to be shooting at each other, but when their tank gets knocked out, this little flag appears and their like tank is disabled. Yeah. So it's like this is not bloody. This is no one's gonna die. It's as I say, it is like they're the football team, but with tanks. It's a bizarre bonkers premise. It's a hell of a lot of fun.
It sounds so stupid. It's great. Yeah.
They do have a mock battle in a town, and it is hilarious. Is this the big shot? Yeah, this is the. I have another one, which is like it shows how much bigger it is. It's freaking massive.
They're freaking huge. It's just ridiculous. It just.
But yeah, they're having a mock battle down the streets of like a Japan suburb. Right? It is crazy just watching like, oh yeah, like this tank just squeezed down these streets. And you're like, what? Yeah.
In a not wartime situation. This is a game.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a game.
Yeah.
Surely a game.
Like we're just chilling, you know, and it's just like, what?
At
the same time also what was I gonna say? Oh, so when did this come out? When does it say? 2016?
No, I think that's 2012.
Yeah, so I swear this was probably one of the reasons that started all of the bloody battleship girl stuff and the assault rifle girl
strike
stuff.
Witches.
Oh, yeah, there's all the and you've got was it
yeah, that's the fucker. Look how massive that is.
Yeah. It's huge. I think we were looking at just one titiny little section of it before.
Yeah. Yeah, it's huge. Yeah. It's so much bigger than an aircraft carrier could be today. You know, it's just massive, absolutely. But like this, I think this was the inspiration for it.
Strike Witches 2008.
Strike Witch. Which one's Strike Witches?
The one with the girls that would have propellers on their legs. And
the one that I started watching this season and then dropped because it was awful.
But that one, I don't know. Strike Witch. That one, I swear,
that's more. They They don't. Well, I don't know.
Strike
they don't
Witch
really
has
turn
got
into
moves
planes
and shit.
so much as they
they just get
No,
like
but wait,
propellers
wait,
on
no.
legs.
No. But in Strike Witches, they're not. Are they actually? They're not actually. No. They have things on their legs, but they're not a thing
they
in
wear
real
them.
life.
Yeah.
They're just wearing. Are they? Are they actually like? This
they
is
don't. They don't transform. They just wear them.
This is Spitfire.
Yeah. No, they
Or
wear
is it
them.
just? No. I meant. Does it have that association with the real world?
Oh.
Yes,
not that I
yes,
know
it does.
of.
Yes, no, it
Are
definitely
they?
does. Definitely
Does?
does. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? As in, this
'Cause-
is Messerschmitt. This is Spitfire. This is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's called? There's they also do that. There's a what's called a ship one as well. I like they have
Kanpai
like
Collection,
destroyers.
I think it's called.
I can't remember what it's called, but yeah. So there's another one. I don't know if that's had a series, but yes, like I swear they have like real world equivalents. So, and this is
real
them
wolves inside
maintaining
you.
their boats.
Kanpai Collection. That's the one.
Yeah.
I don't know when that came out, but yeah, again, this is one of the precursors for because they're huge now. These sort of things with Battleship Girls.
Yeah.
And what's the one that was an anime last season? Which is the one with guns. Each girl is a gun, and they have the gun that they're named after.
It's actually technically Dolls Frontline, but Girls Frontline, yeah.
Girls Frontline, yeah, that's another one. And
Yeah.
I feel Guns and Panzer was the one that pushes for maybe
This is definitely the one I've heard about more. Yeah.
But yeah, Girls and Panzer I feel just made such a bigger impact of this sort of weird thing with like Japanese girls and tanks. It's just like it just works. I don't know why. It's just so much. It is just bloody fun.
There's this other one I watched, just I think randomly on Netflix. What I had it on in the background, where like these girls would get inside dragon, like the dragon would eat them.
Dragon Pilot.
Yes, it's so weird. It's so goofy, but it gives me I think it gives me a similar feeling to how you're describing this, a little bit.
I think Dragon Pilot is a lot more goofy in tone than Girls in Panzer. Like Girls in Panzer has a kind of innocence to it.
Yeah, that is.
So it takes itself seriously?
No, it's just it takes itself as if it's real. But in a like, as I say, like we're watching girls who are like, hey, look, we're on the football.
So
team.
the setting is ridiculous, but within the setting, they take it seriously.
It's just not extreme, right?
Yeah.
They're not like, oh my god, I can't believe that the X tank is flanking our companions and spotted them with their gold tinting and they've blown them out. We're gonna lose. No, you've got to keep it together. We can pull through the. It's none of that.
Really
it's
nice.
It's just fun. It's just chill.
Homely, the words I want to use for the way the teams react and things. I don't know.
Wholesome.
That's the right one. Wholesome, yeah, wholesome. There we go. It's just really nice. It's just like, well, no, it's just
Homely means something else, Loss.
No, it's just,
yes, it does.
It depends. I think you can use it the way he's using it, but yeah, generally homely applies to looks. Like,
I don't know what you're
Appearance.
using it for. Probably the American
Appearance.
thing, Drew, because the British use of it is simple but cozy and comfortable, as in one's own home.
Never heard of that.
You're using the North American
Use
unattached
it.
appearance.
Yeah, use it in a sentence.
I'm British. A modern hotel with a homely atmosphere. As in,
So it's
homely.
ugly.
No. British,
I'm joking,
the British description is simple but cozy and comfortable, as in one's own home, as you feel at home watching these girls. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna beat the." Yeah, look, there's the delinquents. No, sorry, they weren't delinquents. Is it? No, they're the history
They're
team.
Chinchimbaru.
That's it.
Oh, God, that was it.
No, they're not. No, sorry, no, they're not. They're not Nasuth. No, they're even better. Sorry, they are a group of history buffs, and each one is obsessed with a different era of history.
Yeah.
oh my
They
God.
are amazingly good fun. Oh my god, and that's why they like one of them's obsessed with like I don't know the Edo era or something. So they put these giant Japanese flags on the tank and things, but they get spotted when it tries to go through town and things. And then one of them's like, I'm painting this pink because of this, and it's just they are hilarious. They're not it's so good. It just yeah. It's just everyone. If you want to watch something that's fun and stupid, just watch it. And it's got tanks, so it's fun. It's just
I wish I had
Can't
the
go wrong with
ability to
tanks.
learn how to like maintain a tank.
exactly. It's just like the maintain tanks. Just,
It's like, have you tried changing the carburetor? I don't know. Right. I think.
yes,
Are we good?
That's good enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go. Yeah, sorry.
We're good. Right.
Let's
So
do
let's
names.
we've got other sections of the show to do.
No,
Yeah,
it's
it's
only
true.
memes. It's two memes.
Shall we move on? I do have a couple others that I could talk about, but it's not really anything. Like,
Nah, it's
yeah.
That's, I mean, you're just gonna talk about Made in Abyss.
Yeah,
too,
Made
though.
in Abyss is a guilty pleasure because it makes you feel horrible, but I love it. Like the things that are happening to them are just awful, but I can't stop watching.
Actually,
Nasuth, who hurt you? Right. So yeah, let's go to the supporter questions.
Right.
Cool. Right. So Zrugel asks, before we start the supporter questions, I want to say we're not sponsored by any anime, but we're sponsored by Patreon and you folks at home by liking and subscribing. If you'd like to become a patron and help support the channel, you can find a link in the description below. Can they?
I think so.
Do we do that?
If we don't, we probably should.
We probably should. Okay, fine. Right, so Zrugel also asks, what is your favorite anime involving elves?
I think, because I can't think of anything else right now, I'm going to have to go with Skeleton Knight in Another World. Yep.
Good elves.
Xeno probably likes, what was it with the best elf? The dungeon. Girls in a Dungeon.
I'll tell you what it's not. And at least Xeno will agree with me on this.
Uh-huh.
It is not That Time Was Reincarnated as a Spider.
Oh, fuck.
Because those elves and that was just such a waste of just cut them out of the bloody show.
Yep. Now, I think mine is actually Goblin Slayer.
Yeah. I forgot that had elves. To be fair,
but the thing is, it's like, what's your favorite anime involving elves? Is that just like my favorite anime because I like the anime and there's elves into it, or my favorite anime in which
where
the
elves are, main
are one of my
character,
favorite elements of that anime that makes it my favorite anime?
There are very few series I can think of that covers. I mean, if you want to get that nitpicky, I'd probably say the Dota anime.
Mm-hmm.
If that's being like that, I'm with Nasuth in Skeleton Knight. I do like the elves in that. It's good. The elves,
very cool elves. Very cool elves.
Oh yeah, it's just so cool when you go to see you actually see the elves living. There's quite a lot.
You get to see their government. You get to yeah.
Good stuff.
Okay, so let's move on to the next question. And Nasuth is all you need pants asks, what's the weirdest anime you've ever seen? Cat soup. Oh dear God, the trauma.
Eyes of Mars.
I still count it as an anime, but it's that weird CG robot thing I told you guys about.
Which one?
It's a bit like Nasuth's thing that he said a while back in this episode, where there's like a world in which the humans disappear, but robots still keep going about their normal lives, and there's the weird underground place where there's like a sex robot, and then they release sort of like a biovirus that contaminates all the robots, and then in the end it's like all a dream, but then like the robot evolves into like some super being and transcends and
whatever that one was.
That sounds weird. Okay,
I showed you it. I showed you it's weird.
Yeah, I remember you. Yeah, I remember.
I must have blocked it from my mind.
I can't remember.
It's really the CG looks absolutely awful. It's just terrible.
Right. Okay, and then Nasuth is all you need pants also asks, can you think of a better show about successful genocide than Devilman Crybaby? Yes.
You're not going to elaborate? You're just going to say yes?
Well, I mean, it's a yes or no question.
Again, is that because the genocide is successful, it's good for the plot of the show? Or a show that's really good in which somebody committed to genocide and was successful?
Hold on, no, that's not even genocide, though.
Yeah, it is.
That's just global extinction.
That's genocide.
No, genocide is, limited.
No, it doesn't have to be.
Can't find the British word for homely.
Oh, I can't make fucking look up the definition.
It can be a people, and humanity is a people.
A people. No, it's fine. I don't know, but I'm still stuck on. You mean a show which is made good because of a successful genocide happening?
No.
A good show
in which a genocide happens, which
a
is
show you enjoyed more that also had successful genocide.
Yeah, but just in general, like, I mean, I like 86, but the robots were pretty good at genociding things in that. But is that why? Or do you
Does
mean
that count?
Does that count, or is it that the
I'd
the
say
act
yes.
of the successful genocide was that made the show good? Because it wasn't.
No. It's just a show that has genocide.
Okay, I'll just go on 86.
86.
Then, because the robots were badass in that. I want more 86. That'd be so cool. Though it did end it. If it does stop there, it was a good point to stop. The main characters were becoming a bit too.
So the definition of genocide is the deliberate killing of a large number of people from a particular nation or ethnic group with the aim of destroying that nation or group. I don't think the whole planet.
Yeah.
no,
humanity's an ethnic group. Yeah.
That's a species.
I see. I don't know what the one happens in Devilman Crybaby, but is it if there is something?
I spoil it.
Go for it.
They just blow up the whole planet.
That doesn't count as a genocide.
Exactly.
Yeah, even before they blew up the whole planet, there's pretty much no one left.
Oh my fucking
That doesn't count as a genocide.
God.
No, I'm with Xeno on this.
It's multiple genocides. It's multiple genocides.
Oh, dear fucking Christ.
It's an
An
omni-genocide.
apocalypse does not count as
No. The key point in the definition of he read out of genocide there was the aim, I think, or the purpose.
Oh yeah, no, they wanted to kill everyone. They wanted to kill everyone.
No. But then combined in that definition with the focused on this or that. If you're just going to exterminate a whole race, it's just an extinction level event. The difference with genocide is the subgrouping of the population.
I disagree, but that's fine.
Oh my God,
You're
can't
wrong.
disagree with a fucking
Yeah, I
dictionary.
can. Yeah, humanity is a group of people that share a common ethnic.
Humanity is a species.
Yeah, it can be both.
No.
Yeah,
No.
it can be both.
No, Nasuth. No.
Let's not get too hung up on it. Shall we move on to the next question?
Don't make me throw the dictionary at you. Right, okay. A surprise tool to help us later asks, today's episode has been all about hidden gems, which I would assume in advance has been a very enlightening topic to discuss. So in that...
fun, go watch it.
Yeah.
So in that light, a quick question about hidden gems. When you find yourself attempting to smuggle...
conflict diamonds. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like blood diamonds.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's actually best to hide the gems inside yourself or inside your luggage? What you need is a companion called Morty, and you gotta hide him way up his butt.
Yeah.
Alright. I can't remember what this user's name is, so I need you to scroll up again. A surprise tool to help us later also asks...
Does that surprise tool help put diamonds way up your butt? Is that what it is?
Way up your
I
butt.
don't actually. Usually, I get his references. I don't get his reference this time.
Surely it's a Rick and Morty reference.
He's just asking for a friend.
Yeah. You know,
No, I mean,
friend called Morty.
I mean,
how to
this
get it
name.
way up his butt. I don't know, maybe he's a tool. Anyway, a surprise tool to help later also asks, with the summer season of anime coming towards its close, winding up the last few episodes of most, can you think of any of the shows this season that might become a hidden gem or guilty pleasure for anime fans in the future? I would say the
Uncle from Another World, but it's not
Uncle
gonna be
from
this season
Another
anymore.
World would be a hidden gem if it
Not
was
this
this
season
season
anymore.
still.
Yeah.
I'd probably say Lycross Recoil would be a hidden gem, but I would also say Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World is totally a guilty pleasure.
No,
I don't know.
Yeah,
No, it's just stupid.
yeah. Anyway, well then, what would your guilty pleasure of this month?
No,
this
I do feel this season has been quite
Meh.
bland.
Main.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't feel. I mean, it's been
So
okay, but I don't think anything really
quite
meh.
mid. Mid?
Okay, mid. Okay, yeah, fine.
Bit mid.
I really don't think there's many standouts among them. Not in
really
a bad
hasn't.
way, but not anything that like I'm gonna probably go rewatch
Yeah.
in a few years' time.
Well, given that Summertime Rendering spans 2 seasons and it's not even out in America yet, I'm not sure I could. But I get the feeling it might become a hidden gem.
Wait, what am I
Have they
talking about? Overlord Season 4 is amazing, guys.
Fuck off.
It's got dwarfs in it, dragons.
Fuck off.
And plots which I don't understand.
Fuck off. Anyway,
like in this current episode, they're gonna
something
fight some
happens.
people for no reason.
Something may happen.
They won't even let them surrender, and then they try and surrender, and they get mad at them.
So, Summertime Rendering still hasn't started airing on Disney Plus.
I don't think so. What?
Anyone that has Disney Plus, you'll have to confirm.
Oh, I don't know if that's
on
the
Disney Plus USA at 3 a.m.
Yeah, it says that, but I don't see an actual. These dates are for the Japanese one. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It might be a case of it's airing on Disney Plus in Japan.
That's possible.
Yeah, because it's what Netflix has been doing with JoJo. They are airing it worldwide, but they're also airing it in Japan before the actual season thing. So anyway, right, should we go back to the
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So we're going on to the comments. So first comments from Kanpai News. So this is the one we did last week. So Murder Dr. Loz says,
Why are we
news.
commenting about the news in Kanpai Cast?
Because
Yay news!
I said so.
Hey news.
Okay.
Well, we don't have a comment section on that show.
Okay.
Right. So Zrugal says, I feel kind of bad for Loz. Wasn't this his show idea? It was. I like all the stories. What?
Did it go well?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, you said you listened to it.
I listened to the news.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Oh, no, I thought you meant I thought you meant the
No.
show,
It was your idea.
topic.
It was your idea to do a news show. Separate from
yeah,
Kanpai Cast.
yeah.
And then you
the
could make
episode
it
was also my
because
idea.
yeah, the episode was also your.
Yeah. I like all the stories, and other than Kanpai Cast, I don't really hear anime news.
Glad we could help out.
Yeah. And now on to last week's Kanpai Cast comments. Alex says, another great show, guys. This show really needs to be heard by more people. Thank you very much.
I really appreciate that, but yeah, you gotta spread it around.
Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah. Zrugal says, watching Thaylien eat is making me so hungry. Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Was there a 10 anime in the longest names?
With the longest names.
With the longest names. If not, you guys should make that one. Oh dear God.
I know what Loz is first. If Loz ever does a top 10 list, that's going to be his. Yeah.
Is it?
No, it's probably going to be top 10 Gundams. Let's face it.
No. It'll be top 10 Xeon mobile suits of the post 1 year war, pre-Neon Xeon War era that are able to use beam rifles and powered by Minoscu generators with added attachments.
Special attachments.
Is this just so you could do multiple Gundam related top 10?
No, I just feel it's an important list to do. It's important. Don't want this generic sort of list of like 10 Gundams.
Wait.
I
I didn't hear the
Watch
word
Mojo.
overpowered. I didn't hear the word overpowered or surprises everyone.
What am I? Something sensei who says
Anime sensei.
top 10 overpowered
Everyone
Gundams
said
on
that.
a Tuesday.
Honest 10 said that. Animeology said that. They all bloody use that same naming convention. Anyway, so it's on to the memes. You can find additional memes on twitter.com/Kanpai_cast. We repost 3 memes daily. We might actually start getting into our own memes. Who knows?
Who knows?
So I think
Who's
it's
going
time
to
to
take off the recording of this from Nasuth when you finish moving?
I don't think I am, but I will.
He'll be able to give me his
edit.
footage.
I'll be rendering it.
Yeah,
and,
or I'll be able to get him the footage. Either way, yeah.
I sent this meme and it is true.
Yeah.
Harem anime, and it gives a definition of a person. I can't actually read that.
An anime where the main protagonist, usually male, has multiple love interests at the same time.
And then we've got Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World. I'll ignore that.
I'll ignore that. It's so true. We've only got 2 episodes left, and there's only still 1 love interest.
It doesn't count that in like episode 2 is like, oh, this is a potential future. Oh look, there's some faceless people, which may be girls, following the protagonist. Anyway, let's ignore that and just go back to like the main
They're
timeline.
in the Sonic intro as well.
Yeah, the whole intro shows this harem like just chilling in a hotel.
Lies
like,
and
oh,
trickery.
look at all, we're cooking and things. Oh, that's great. It's like no. You see that main character and that main girl? That is it.
That's it. That is it.
Now, I did ask my Turkish friend about harems, because Turkey is the land where they originated from. And he said that the harem is actually just the area of the house where you keep the women, or for the women, specifically. And so it's not about... It's about money, not bitches.
So that means I could have a room, and I could do the meme of this is where I'd keep my harem if I didn't have if I had some bitches.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, exactly.
But it'd be an empty
Let's
room.
move on to the second one.
Right, so they this is a story about how they find an ancient mask, and then there was a oh gosh, I really can't read this stuff. I'm so blind. Man accused of killing his brother's family, torching his mansion
over financial dispute.
Yep, and then we find
fisherman fishes up an old coffin. The coffin
100 years old.
100 years old.
Yep.
We're hitting bingo levels that shouldn't be possible.
Yep.
Oh, okay, I get that.
It's JoJo time. It's JoJo time.
Oh dear God!
What people do when they save time typing you instead of you. For anyone who doesn't know, this is from Onegai Muscle, which is I haven't watched it, but I've heard about it, and it sounds stupidly fun. So,
maybe we should watch it together.
Maybe we should. Why is it when something happens, it's always you three? Believe me, Professor, I've been asking myself the same question for 6 years.
One of those is going to be metamorphosis, isn't it?
Oh, almost certainly, yeah.
Probably.
Fucking hell.
Do not look those up, Loz.
I will, so you don't have to. Oh, there we go.
The Japanizing beam.
Oh my God. I think the bottom one is only rascals dream of senpai in a bunny suit or something. I can't remember what the name of the thing is. Yeah, okay. It's a series. Anyway.
And finally, my friend who I trust, me looking for a new anime to watch.
A nice anime to watch.
A nice new anime to watch. Yes, a nice anime to watch. Yep.
Okay.
Just come watch. So good. Just come watch it with me.
Okay. It's time for my first one. She's a 10 out of 10.
This meme was everywhere.
Nah, she's 100 out of 10.
Nice. Good use of that meme.
I mean, I have seen this. Like, I fucking hate this. It's spread all over TikTok. She's a 10 out of 10, but like it just did my head in. And when I saw this one, I was like, I appreciate this one, right?
Yeah.
My second meme. So we've got Denji and Makima from Chainsaw Man. Stand back. I'm beginning to morb.
I still haven't seen Morbius. This doesn't make any sense to me.
Good, because Morbius doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I've heard.
So, right, and then we've got the third community chat. Yesterday, I found a book titled "How to Solve 50% of Your Problems," so I bought 2. 100% brain.
Oh, nice.
All right, my fourth meme. So 3 days.
Oh God!
Yep.
She will be back. She will be back.
I've told all my friends she's not really dead. She's just receded, and she'll come back out in about 100 years as a new person with a new face.
She's just having her usual 3-year rest every millennia. So
she's regenerating. She's regenerating like Doctor Who, you know.
That is some form of Kanpai collection character, and I assume for looking at the crown things, that is the HMS Queen Elizabeth.
Probably. Right, my fifth meme. String phone.
Oh God! Wow.
I saw this. I just like, yep, I have to use this one.
Oh my god.
Right.
Okay.
And then last but not least, Dad, Mum, we're back home. My sister, Oni-chan, they're back. Stop watching hentai.
Oh my god. It's so true.
Oh. Anyway. So that's it for.
That's the right button.
Right, so that is it for this week's Kanpai Cast. Next week we have the gender perspective on anime. So with YeeTsun and Cthulu. We've had Yee on before, going over Godzilla and stuff. And this will be the first Kanpai Cast where we have 5 people on the show. And we'll just be talking about our takes on different shows across the board. Right, so that is it for this week. Thank you all for watching / listening. And now it's time to bottoms up and Kanpai!